Everyone thinks Alex Hormozi built a business empire. 3.3 million YouTube subscribers, best-selling books, $100 million net worth. By age 32, the guy's basically the Tony Stark of online business, except here's the plot twist that's going to make your brain short-circuit like a Windows 95 computer trying to run Cyberpunk 2077. For years, people thought his wife Leila was his secretary, not his business partner, not his co-founder, his secretary. Meanwhile, she was running literally everything, building the systems that scaled 4 companies to 250 million in annual revenue, making the strategic decisions that generated over 120 million in cumulative sales, and creating the operational infrastructure that turned Alex's vision into actual money. By the end of this video, you're going to see exactly how Leila Hormozi went from being mistaken for support staff to becoming the operational architect behind one of the most successful business portfolios in the entrepreneurship space, and why understanding her contributions completely changes the Hormozi success story. All right, before we get into this, here's what I did. I went through 3 weeks of research, business filings, podcast interviews, LinkedIn posts, official press releases, and about 40 hours of content where both Alex and Leila talk about how they actually built their businesses. We're not doing gossip or hot takes here. This is documented in Business Wire announcements, COO alliance interviews, and financial records. You can verify yourself. I'm not here to diminish Alex or prop up Leila. We're just following the receipts to understand who actually built what. And honestly, what I found is way more interesting than the narrative most people believe. Let's get into it. So here's the thing about business partnerships. They're like buddy cop movies. You've got the charismatic detective who's great on camera, does all the talking, gets the headlines, and then you've got the methodical partner who actually solves the case, does the paperwork, and makes sure nothing falls apart. Both are essential. But guess which one gets remembered? Alex and Leila Hormozi operate in what they call a complementary partnership. Alex handles everything external: marketing, sales education, content creation, the YouTube videos, the books, the thought leadership. Leila handles everything internal: operations, infrastructure, team building, management systems, and the actual day-to-day execution that turns ideas into functioning businesses. On paper, this sounds fair. Equal partners, different roles, everyone wins. But here's where it gets weird. The role that faces outward, the marketing, the content, the visibility, naturally accumulates all the credit. Meanwhile, the role that faces inward, the systems, the operations, the actual building, remains invisible. It's like if the Avengers gave all the credit to Iron Man while completely forgetting that Nick Fury built SHIELD and made the whole thing possible. For years, this perception gap was massive. People would join their companies wanting to work for Alex, then discover Leila ran everything and be shocked. So, the question we're answering today isn't, does Alex deserve credit? He absolutely does. The question is, does Leila get proportional credit for being the operational force that made everything actually work? And for most of their partnership, the answer was no. Let's start with the most absurd part of this story. Leila Hormozi, the CEO who would go on to build a $250 million portfolio, spent years being mistaken for Alex's secretary. She revealed this in a podcast interview with The Future, and I'm quoting directly here: "People always thought I was his secretary, and so people would come because they wanted to work for Alex and then be like, oh, Leila runs everything. I report to her." And I was like, oh my god, think about that for a second. You're running 40 plus employees, building management systems, scaling operations, making strategic decisions worth millions of dollars, and people assume you're the assistant. It's like being the actual director of a movie, but everyone thinks you're the person who brings coffee to the director. But here's what Leila actually did at gym launch. While Alex worked with a tight team of 3 people in what he calls his Willy Wonka factory, creating content and researching marketing strategies, Leila managed the remaining 40 plus employees across every operational department: IT, HR, sales, marketing, customer service, the whole deal. She built 3 levels of management, created leadership training portals, designed automated follow-up systems, and established the entire infrastructure that allowed them to serve 4,500 gyms across 13 countries. The division of labor was crystal clear in internal documents. Alex told her directly in a COO Alliance podcast, "Leila, I want you to run the business, do all the operations, and do all the people stuff, and I am going to market and develop a product." So while Alex focused on making offers irresistible and creating viral content, Leila was building the machinery that could actually deliver on those promises at scale. It's the difference between designing the Death Star and actually building the Death Star. Both are important, but one requires operational mastery that most people never see or understand. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because Leila didn't just execute Alex's vision, she made strategic decisions that fundamentally altered the trajectory of their entire business empire. And these aren't small tweaks, these are pivot the whole company and make millions more decisions. First, the gym launch business model pivot. Initially, they were doing in-person gym turnarounds, literally flying to gym locations, running the operation for a few weeks, then moving to the next one. They had a mile-long wait list, but they were bleeding money. Negative cash flow of $250,000. It wasn't sustainable. So what did Layla do? She made the strategic call to sell their secrets as one-off payments instead of continuing the in-person service model. They made $42,000 in one day, which validated the licensing model that would eventually scale to $50 million in revenue over 2 years. That decision alone is worth more than most business advice you'll ever pay for. It's like if someone told Henry Ford, hey, instead of building custom cars one at a time, what if we made an assembly line? That's the level of strategic shift we're talking about. But wait, it gets better. The creation of Prestige Labs was entirely Layla's insight. After personally selling supplements to 240 gym members in 1 month, because yeah, she was also doing sales, she noticed something gym members would pull up Amazon on their phones to comparison shop while she was pitching. She recognized that gym owners needed a proprietary supplement line to maintain credibility and profit margins, so she convinced Alex to create Prestige Labs. The result? $1.7 million per month within the first 6 months. That business contributed to a combined $46.2 million exit valuation when they sold to American Pacific Group in 2021. And then there's the niche focus decision. Initially, Gym Launch targeted the broad gym market. Anyone with a gym could be a client. Layla pushed hard to hyper-focus on a specific avatar, micro gyms. She explained in interviews that it wasn't until they zeroed in on exactly who they wanted to serve that the business took off. That was definitely a key factor. It's like if Netflix tried to be everything to everyone versus saying, we're going all in on streaming, focus wins. Oh, and one more thing. When they were about to lose everything because Alex's business partner stole money, leaving them $100,000 in debt with $150,000 in refunds owed, Layla flew to Hawaii and signed up more people for that gym location than anyone before her, breaking all records. That moment literally saved the business from bankruptcy. No pressure or anything. Alright, so we've established Layla made strategic decisions, but strategy means nothing without execution. And this is where her operational genius becomes undeniable. Because between 2017 and 2021, Layla didn't just build one company, she founded and scaled 3 additional companies beyond Gym Launch, generating over $120 million in cumulative sales across 4 different industries: software, service, e-commerce, and brick and mortar, all without taking outside capital. Let's break down the specifics. At Gym Launch, she grew the team from 0 to 75 employees in 21 months, 100% virtual. And here's the kicker. She only had 9 terminations during that explosive growth period. 9. Most companies scaling that fast look like a revolving door of hiring and firing. Layla built systems that actually retained people. She created 5 operational frameworks that became the backbone of multiple businesses: the 5-star service framework, game tape review framework, high performance communication framework, Monday Hour 1 framework, and pay increase framework. These weren't cute motivational posters on the wall. These were documented, repeatable systems that anyone in the organization could follow. For Prestige Labs, she built unique back-end payment processing and logistics systems that allowed brick and mortar facilities to realize profit without holding inventory. For Allen Software, she created automated lead nurturing that achieved 1.9 times more leads than average front desk clerks. At Acquisition.com today, she manages a portfolio team of subject matter experts, head of recruiting, head of business strategy, head of marketing, director of operations, who support portfolio companies generating $250 million plus annually. Her systems philosophy is methodical and repeatable. 6 steps. Identify the goal, identify the steps, identify what can be simplified, test the system, optimize it, document it, rinse and repeat. It's like if Marie Kondo organized businesses instead of closets. Everything has a place, everything has a process, and if it doesn't spark operational efficiency, it gets eliminated. And look, I know operations sounds boring. It sounds like spreadsheets and org charts and the kind of stuff that makes people's eyes glaze over faster than a lecture on tax law. But here's the reality. Operations is what separates companies that blow up from companies that scale sustainably. It's the difference between a viral TikTok business that crashes in 6 months and an empire that compounds for decades. Layla built the latter. Now let's talk money, because at the end of the day, business success gets measured in dollars, and this is where Layla's contributions become mathematically undeniable. When Layla joined Alex in 2016, they were facing $150,000 in refunds and potential bankruptcy. Her Hawaii sales breakthrough generated enough momentum for them to pivot the business model. In the first month after the pivot she pushed for, they generated $100,117, enough to cover the $100,000 credit card debt. The second month brought $177,399 with $30,000 to $40,000 in profit. From there, Gym Launch scaled to $50 million in revenue within 2 years, with $17 million in profit in year one alone. But Gym Launch was just the beginning. Between 2017 and 2021, those 3 additional companies Layla founded generated $120 million plus in cumulative sales. Allen Software hit $1.4 million per month in its first 6 months. Prestige Labs reached $1.7 million per month within 6 months. The methodical nature of this achievement demonstrates operational mastery, not luck. Sources noted that Layla was making an average of $1.2 million per month as CEO starting at age 24. By age 28 in 2020, she had achieved a net worth of $100 million built through scaling operations, not through creating viral content or selling courses. At Acquisition.com, where Layla holds the CEO title and Alex serves as managing partner, the portfolio has grown from $85 million to $250 million plus in annual revenue between 2020 and 2024. The firm makes 3 to 5 investments per year after evaluating approximately 2,100 companies annually. They take minority stakes, typically around 40%, in businesses doing 3 to 10 million in revenue and scale them to 30 to 100 million plus. Here's the comparison that makes this crystal clear. Alex Hormozi has 3.3 million YouTube subscribers and wrote 2 best-selling books that made him famous. Layla. Hormozi has 1.1 million YouTube subscribers and wrote 0 books. Yet when they sold Gym Launch and Prestige Labs to American Pacific Group in 2021 for $46.2 million, the official Business Wire statement listed both of them equally. This is an exciting moment in our company's history, said Alex and Layla Hormozi, founders of Gym Launch and Prestige Labs. The financial outcomes were co-created, the visibility was not. So here's the verdict. Is Layla Hormozi the real brain behind Alex's empire? Not exactly, and that's actually the more interesting answer. The Hormozi empire isn't Alex's empire or Layla's empire. It's a genuinely complementary partnership where 2 people executed at the highest level in their respective domains. Alex brought marketing genius, viral content, and frameworks that resonate with millions. Layla brought operational infrastructure, scaling systems, and execution discipline that turned vision into a $250 million reality. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For years, most people knew Alex and assumed Layla was his secretary. Not because Alex stole credit, he consistently acknowledged her, but because marketing is visible and operations are invisible. Books, content, and social media naturally accrue to the marketer, while systems and infrastructure remain behind the scenes. It's like how everyone notices when the lights turn on, but nobody thinks about the electrical grid making it possible. This happens everywhere. Steve Jobs got credit while Wozniak built the computers. Beyonce is the superstar while an army of managers make the shows happen. The lesson? Both roles are essential. Both create value, but if you're the operator, you need to intentionally build visibility or you'll spend years running everything while someone else gets famous. For entrepreneurs studying the Hormozi model, exceptional outcomes require both visionary marketing and operational excellence. You need both always. So what do you think? Does Layla deserve more credit? Drop a comment below. And if you want more deep dives into how business empires actually get built, hit subscribe next week, how MrBeast's team really operates. Trust me, it's wild. Thanks for watching.